I'm sorry, everyone. I've been on mute all this time and I'm just running my mouth. Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry I was on mute. I didn't even realize it. This is Spiritual Sundays. Welcome, welcome. Come on in, say hello. I will not have my co host Tobocious on here with me tonight. So if you would like to come on to this live and talk to me about your spiritual experience, the link is above in the caption. You just click on it. I will invite you in and we'll have a chat. But tonight's topic is premonitions. We're going to discuss if you've had them, what they look like, and whose life did you help if you assisted anyone's life with the premonitions. And if we don't get a lot, well, if I don't get too much audience participation, then I will come back and revisit this topic. And I don't have an issue with that. Because, again, like I said, while my mic was muted, that the energies feel off today. I don't know what it is. I guess everybody is in a relaxation mode or family mode. I don't know what it is. So if you're watching, say hello. Shout out to the people that are on my YouTube channel, on the Plug Studio Network one, and the Peach ENT. Hello, how are you? This is Spiritual Sundays. This is not the Peach Radio Show. So tonight we're going to talk about premonitions. Do we have them? Do you have them? Are you capable of having a premonition? I know myself. Good evening. I know myself, I have them. And I'm not afraid to say that. And I'm sure it's a lot of other people that actually have probably you saw them in a dream where you dreamt something and it came true, or it was probably, I don't know, a walk in vision. Maybe you were sitting someplace and you thought about something and you like, I just had a whole thought process about something and then it happened. That's generally how premonitions occur. Or for some people, I've heard they actually pass out. They'll be sitting somewhere, pass out, and have a whole premonition and then get back up and see things. If you enjoy YouTube videos, there's plenty of them on premonitions. It's not a odd occurrence. So, again, if you are on this live and you have them, share it in the comments or click on the link and come on in and let's talk about premonitions. So, again, since no one is really on here and everybody's probably trying to come on, and I do apologize for the poor advertisement because I did not advertise at all for the show. So, I do apologize to you guys for that. I am going to talk about premonitions. I am going to talk about one that I've had myself, particularly mine seem to stem or seem to be based on family members. I'm going to say that family members, close friends. I never really have them about anyone else that's outside of my circle or someone that I had some type of attachment with. And I've had world premonitions. But I will share one. Uh, I remember being a child around, let's say, I don't know, maybe 10 or 11. And I had a friend that lived on my block. And he wasn't exactly the greatest person in the world. Someone that I knew and didn't particularly get along with. But you know how you have those core block friends that you saw every day. You probably walked to school with them and things of that nature. Your parents probably knew one another, regardless of how you felt about the person. You always were around because of the block relationships. It's not so much like that now in society because of the invention of video games and social media and computers. Children don't have like that. Well, families don't on the block don't have that block mentality. But I did grow up during that time. I was born in the 70s, so it was a young guy, and his name, I'll say, I'm gonna call him C. And we were outside playing. I don't know if you guys know what freeze tag is. Is when you run and tag the person and they freeze and you tag another person. So we were playing that, and he was chasing me. And I turned around and I looked back. And again, I'm like 10, 11 years old. I see him with bullet holes all over his body. And when I looked, I was in horror. And then I turned my head and I re looked again. And I'm like, what in the heck? I was so scared that I just took off running in my house because I had never seen anything like it. He had bullet holes all over his body, blood gushing and pouring out. So that was, excuse me, I guess I'm assuming that was like a walking premonition, something that you see awake. Again, people have all kinds. For me, that was a walking one. So I didn't understand exactly what that was at the moment that I saw it when I was 10 or 10, 11 years old. But when I got 20 something years old and I moved a block around the corner, let's just say, a block ahead of the block that I grew up on, um, the same guy that I saw with the bullets, he got shot up, and that's the way he died. I will not get into the details. He died on the street that I grew up on. Same thing with the bullets, all in his body, blood gushing. So I know that sounds horrific. I don't know if it was something I was supposed to do with that as a child to warn him. I don't know exactly what that was supposed to be, but that is a case of having a premonition. And again, if you were watching and I see you watching, say something and let me know if you've had one. That's one of my premonitions that I just shared with you. And I have done it since I was a child. I would see things that would occur. I'm unsure as to why or what triggered it, but I believe that I'm not the only person that does those kind of things. So, if you are out there, don't just stare at me this Sunday. Say something, say hello, say anything. Have you had one? If you like to come on this live, the link is above. Tonight's topic is premonitions, and I just shared one with you. They are very common. A lot of people have them. I'm unsure if you heard of Nostradamus. If you have, please say something in the comments. Nostradamus is what was he called? A seer back then. Person that had premonitions about the future. In fact, things that actually happened during this time, these times. Who else? Sylvia Brown. You call them psychics. Do I consider myself a psychic? No, I do not. I just consider myself a person that just has, um, I guess, this uniqueness about me that allows me to peer in for a brief moment, and I don't know how to control that. So, and I've had other cases, and I've seen some future things for my life, in particular. So I'm not sure if that's like a guidance thing from the ancestors or what, but I am cool with it. um, so again, this Spiritual Sundays topic premonitions. If I don't get feedback, I will be getting off of here probably at 5:30 to enjoy my Sunday. Again, the last couple spiritual Sundays took me into 3 hours. I would be sitting here until 8 o'clock, which is great on one hand, but then on the other hand, I don't get a chance to do a lot of the things that I actually do. So, say hello. I see you staring. All right. So I guess I have to share another story, right? And I don't know why I was told to come on here, but I am here because I have a message for someone, or someone has a question for me, and I have the answer for you on my desk. So maybe you haven't come on yet. Alrighty. So someone said hello to me. I can't quite see who that is. Let me go on my page. Alrighty. Up, there go the comments. I'm like, where is? I see people staring at me. Oh, hey, Delisa. Nope, that's the other live. Wait a minute. Sorry, you guys. My page has so much information on it. Okay, it's loading. Sorry. Hey, Karen, how are you? I see you. Good evening, Angel. I see you. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I am starting to think that Facebook is messing with my algorithms because it's like when I get to a certain point within the show, like 15, 20 minutes in, that's when everybody starts to pop in. um, so, yeah, since I see all of you guys out there just looking at me, and I love being watched, but I need y'all participation. Have you ever had anything that you thought or felt come true? Karen says, so what are we talking about today? Today, Karen, is Spiritual Sundays. I've been doing this for the last 3 Sundays. And the show has been going on for 3 hours every Sunday. And we're talking about premonitions. Um, about, have you ever thought about something that came true? Have you dreamt something that came true? Anything that happened to you that was foresight? Has anyone experienced this? Am I the only person that actually have been through this? All right, Angel said yes. Angel, why don't you come on the live and share your story? The link is at the top. Come in, share your story. Now, Karen, the premise of Spiritual Sundays is for people that probably are religious or either spiritual, and they have experiences that they don't get to talk about because it's not PC. Karen said, I feel like if I want something to come true, I try to redirect my energy so that I'm not obsessing about it. Okay. Okay. So you redirect your energy. Angel said, I can't. I'm multitasking. So type in the comments about your premonition. Angel, what did you have a premonition about? I think mothers have a strong um they're more likely to have, moms are more likely to have premonitions. I know most people that I've actually encountered that come within my circle, and they say that they have these things happen with the premonitions. They're mostly moms, and I'm not sure if it gets heightened because you have a child, and then you can kind of feel what's going on with your kid, or I don't know what the correlation is with that, but I do realize that moms seem to have it. I could tell you one thing. Starting Tuesday, I started feeling like something was going on with my daughter, and when I reached out to her, I didn't get an answer, and I'm like, something is wrong with my daughter. So my daughter finally called me Saturday morning and she was like, Mom, and I'm like, yes, I've been calling you. She was like, well, I had COVID and I lost my voice for 2 days and I couldn't speak. And I said, well, I knew something was going on with you. That's why I was reaching out. I knew something was wrong with my child. I could feel it in my soul, my gut. But she's okay. I just thought it was, you know, different. Like I just knew it, and I just thought it was just like, wow, I'm really connected with my daughter. I was really what Karen said, do you believe that if you speak about it being true that it will happen? Like my friend today said she wants a partner and is speaking it into existence. Karen. Okay. So that's a little bit different from a premonition. But I can tell you, Smack and our story is similar to that. And I wish that Smack would get on and tell, you know what, maybe I'll ask her to come on and tell our story. Um, yes, I do believe that you could speak things into existence if you uh, are tapped into the right frequency. You can do that. Smack has done it. Just like you said with your friend that she wanted a partner and she's gonna get one. Smack did something similar. She actually wrote a letter, and she wrote in this letter all the traits that she wanted in a woman. She wanted her to be um, strong-willed and uh, professional and all these different things that she put in a letter, and she put it in her drawer. What's funny about that is when she wrote that letter, I started feel around the time she wrote the letter, and this is something I found out after I started talking to her. I started feeling like someone was calling me or looking for me. I just felt like somebody was coming. I'm like, who is coming or calling for me or whatever? But then after I met Smack and I spoke to her, she told me that I'm the woman that she wrote about in this letter that she put in her drawer and she called to her. And I'm like, really? She like, yeah. I said, oh my God, get out of here. So I do believe that you can call people into existence. I do. Angel said I get strong senses of what people feel. A room full of people, strangers, and I'll sense sadness or fear just to find out later that someone caused harm. Okay. I'm like that too. I could walk in a room and I could pick up people feelings. Sometimes I get flashes of pictures. I'll pick up from people like flashes. And I'm like, what is that all about? But most of the times I try not to say anything and I'll just walk off. I'll be like, I don't want to deal with that. I really don't want to deal with that. Karen, you're an empath. Yeah, yeah. It's that empath life is for me. It could become overwhelming. Um, I know when I went to Pride and it was all those multiple people there. I It was too much. I had to come home. All those different energies, all those different emotions, and I had to leave. I can't be in spaces where there's a lot of people unless it's like a strong love vibration. If it's not a strong love vibration, I have to go. I can't be there. It's very overwhelming for me. Karen said it is overwhelming because I feel like I need to counsel everybody. I used to feel like that, Karen. I used to feel like that, but I've learned through experience that if you counsel everyone, you can take on those energies and then it's hard for you to get them off of you. So I've learned to um, pick my poison or don't pick a poison at all. And in the case of me going to Pride, I just was like, okay, that's a lot. Let me go. It's too much for me. So empath. That's being an empath is another one of the gifts or whatever that people do have outside of premonitions. I guess everybody want to talk about being empathic. That's what seems like you know the mood is for today. You do, Karen. Karen said, and I do take them on. Yeah, and it's hard to get those energies off. And if you're not aware that you're an empath, you probably don't even understand what's going on with you. I think a lot of times people get diagnosed with a lot of these mental illnesses because they are empaths and they do have a issue with getting it off, or they probably don't even know that they're an empath. Karen says, I don't know if I've ever had premonition. My premonitions fortunately never come true because it's mostly about death. Well, Karen, you'll know if you had a premonition because the verification will be you experiencing whatever you saw. And in my case, it's happened to me multiple times, just like earlier when I was discussing about my childhood friend. I saw him at 10 years old dying the way he died when he was in his 20s. And for me, the conflict with the premonitions is, are we supposed to, when you see them, intervene in some kind of way or tell this person what you saw for them to correct something? I am not sure about what it is. I've actually tried to tell the party what I saw, and nothing came from it. So I'm just, not sure. Is it, we see it to bring people comfort? Is it to warn them? Maybe it's not for them to do anything, or it is meant for them to do something and they don't. I just exactly don't know for sure. I can tell you one instance, maybe 2, 3 years ago, where I did actually have a premonition about another childhood friend. And I think in that case, me seeing what I saw brought his family comfort. And I'll share that with you guys. I'll share that. About 4 or 5 years ago, I had a dream about another childhood friend. We'll call him W. Okay, what you said, Cameron said, then I do have premonitions. I get a feeling in my gut to reach out to them and instinctively know that either they die or a close friend or family member has died. Yeah, yeah, probably. So I'm gonna go into the thing about my friend. I'm gonna call him W. So me and W grew up together, same way me and C grew up together. And I was here in my home. 5 years later, I had a dream, and I hadn't seen W in like 15 years. So in the dream, I see W coming out of an elevator, a bunch of guys jumping on him, and I could see the motivations as to why they're jumping on him is based on a girl. But W knows this, but not too many other people knows what's going on in W's life. So I watched in a dream as they beat W to death coming out of a elevator or whatever, and it was so horrific the way they stomped and kicked and beat him, and they left him on the ground to die. And in that piece where he was dying, I woke up out my sleep. So I called his sister, and I was like, did you see your brother? Where's your brother? Where's your brother? Is everything okay? So she was like, I don't know. I haven't spoken to my brother in a couple days. I'm like, you need to find your brother. Find your brother. So she called around, called around. She finally reached him and she told him, like, listen, we was looking all over for you. because Pierce called and said that she had this dream about you, that you was beaten to death over a chick or whatever, and for you to watch yourself and don't put yourself in a situation. Be cautious of your environment. She believes she had this premonition. So he started laughing and joking off and said, "No, I'm still alive. Ain't nothing going on. Ain't nothing happening with me, etc., etc." So 2 years from that time, I was coming home for work. I came home and I get a phone call. I hadn't spoken to his sister since that week of me telling her that. We had spoke like maybe 2 or 3 times after that. She calls me crying. I'm like, "What is going on? Is you okay?" She said, my brother got killed." And she said, "And you know exactly how he got killed." And I said, "What?" She said, "My brother was at my sister's. He got on the elevator, he came down, and he got beat to death in the hallway." And I just was sitting there in shock. Um, the case, and this is the part where I said I think this was for comfort, because the case has not been solved. They don't know, the cops don't know who did it. But because I saw it in the premonition and I told his sister and them has the peace of knowing what happened and what it was stemming from. And his mom thanked me and said, "You know what? If you hadn't told us this years ago, I wouldn't have believed you. But I have peace and I know what happened to my son. If I had not had this information, I wouldn't be able to go in peace like this." And she was like, "I keep telling the cops to investigate. No, it's no cameras, Karen. This is, I don't know if you ever been down to Newark, New Jersey. It happened there." So, sorry, you guys. So the mom was like, I wouldn't have peace if I didn't know this information. It would have drove me more crazy to know that my son is dead and not have a clue uh to his death, to the cause of his death or whatever. So she thanked me. So I think in that case, that was to bring comfort in a sense. I mean, of course, a mom will never be comforted with the death of their child, but I think the unknowing, that sense of that would drive me crazy. So I guess that's essentially what his mom was saying. She probably would have went crazy from grief because she wouldn't have known. So as of today, I think that was like 2 or 3 years from today, but the case is still not solved. People that were in that building that probably could did see something. Excuse me. They haven't gone to the cops, given any information or anything. So that case remains unsolved. But that's another premonition that I had. Rest in peace to my friend W. Very good guy as a child. I don't know what he turned out to be as an adult, but he was always kind. He was always a kind person when we were growing up, teenage years, young child years, young adult years. Newark, New Jersey is very brutal. But I did describe to the mom what the guys look like. So hopefully, something comes from that. But as of right now, unsolved. So, premonitions. I done gave y'all two. That's 2 and 0. I'm gonna get off of here around 6. Was it a hate crime? I don't necessarily think it was a hate crime, Karen. I think it was a crime of It wasn't pertaining to drugs. It was pertaining to a girl that he was messing with. And she was messing with another guy, and he happened to be, I guess you would say, a thug, a criminal, and wasn't standing for that. And even she's not coming forward, which is sad because the girl that I described to them, they said is his baby's mother, but we're going to leave that alone. So, I don't know. Alrighty. So, premonitions. Do you have them? Anyone care to share a story with me? I can share so many stories, but I think you guys don't want to hear all of mine. I guess that would be considered. Would it be considered a hate crime? Hmm. All right, y'all. Does anyone have anything to say? I see people staring. I know you probably be like, "Oh my God, is she crazy?" No, I'm not crazy. I just function a little different than most people. Let's give some good premonitions. I'll share some good ones with you. For those that's just watching me that wants to hear the stories. I'm going to tell you a good one. I told you two bad ones. Premonitions aren't always about death and gore. When I was, I'll say about 18 years old, 18, 19 years old, I did have a dream of my husband before I actually met him, my first husband. Yup. Yes, I used to be married to a man. I dreamt about him. I dreamt about activities that we were doing before I actually met him. And then when I met him, the things that we were doing in my dreams, we actually did in actual real life. So that's a great, good premonition. Karen said, I don't think I have premonitions, but I feel like I'm able to speak things into existence. When I was getting my bachelor's degree, I had a class and the teacher had us write down 10 goals. Did they? Then I wanted in life. Then she told us to write them down and put the sheet of paper away. 10 years later, I found that sheet of paper and I realized that I had accomplished 95% of my goals. That is great. Yeah, you can definitely speak things into existence. And I think that that's a great topic also. Because I believe that everything that I'm doing now with my businesses, they started out as just thoughts in the air and then voila, I'm doing all these different things. So you definitely can speak things into existence. Alrighty, so let me think. Think. Another great premonition. Another. Okay, I'll tell you one. This is a good premonition. I remember the house that I live in now when I built it. That was maybe, I built this house maybe 10, 11 years ago, whatever. So it's a fairly new house. And as I was walking up to my house, um, I knew the person that I was walking up to my house with that I was not going to be with them in the end in this house. So I kept having repetitive dreams about me in the backyard with this person, this little chubby person with their head bent down and they got their hair in like a little flat top and I'm like, who is this? And every time I hugged this person, everybody hugged and embraced me hugging this person. They just love this person. Oh my God, they just love me and this person being together or whatever. So I kept seeing the person, reoccurring dream, person with like a flat top looking hairdo, dark skin, wearing white. So one day After Smack and I started dating, one day we was outside somewhere and she bent down and I realized that top head, the flat top hairdo or whatever that was, bohawk that I had been seeing all those years, mirrored her head when she looked down. So I said, "Oh, okay. So all this time it's been you with this whatever kind of hairdo this is." I'm not really good with those little short haircuts, the names of them, but I recognized it, like the structure of the head, how the hair was, the texture, everything was the same. So I guess that would be another good premonition, right? When you get to see things in the future. I can also tell you that I came into this world with an awareness. I knew that, excuse me, I would have three great loves in my lifetime. I already had two. So I'm on my way to the third, huh? Hopefully I'm with the third. But yeah, premonitions could be good. They could be bad. They could be just occurring. And like I told you with my friend, I was offering someone solace that needed it from the premonition. Didn't help, didn't stop the guy from doing anything, but it helped him. All right. I was trying to see if I could get Smack on here so she could talk about the infamous letter. Let me see if I could call her. Bear with me, you guys. She loves this story. I'm sure she'll share it. I need you. Hello? I need you to get on the link and share your story about your letter that you wrote about me. It's some people that want to hear about that. The one where you was looking for a girlfriend that you wrote before you met me. So I'm gonna send you the link and you come on and tell people about it. All right, bye. So Smack is gonna come on and tell you all about the letter. I guess that's speaking stuff into existence. I'm not sure exactly what that would be, or if that would be considered a premonition. So she'll be on shortly. I think you guys will love that story. It's a cute little story. So besides that, how is everybody's Sunday doing until Smack come on here and share with you guys? And my Sunday has been busy. But whoever this person is, right? Because I do pull some things sometimes, some cards sometimes. Is this somebody that had a question about their life? Because I got like a full stack right here that I was told to pull for you. You're questioning your journey and what you're doing. I have the answer here. It's someone that's out there. So maybe for later, if you're questioning your journey, um, is it you, Karen, that's questioning your journey? Right before I come on this show, I always burn my sage and shuffle, and then I got inkling of a message I was supposed to give somebody, and it looks like from these cards that the person was questioning their journey, and I'm like, wow. Um, for the person that's questioning your journey, this card saying that it's your destiny to do whatever it is that you're questioning. And until you realize it and walk into it, all the good things is going to be upside down. So I'm gonna flip them. Let me tell you what you're missing out on because of you not walking your journey. You're missing out on your new beginning. Your life is going to transform. It's going to be triumphant. You're going to get lots of reward and recognition. You're going to do well, and you will not be alone. So, whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, you got to keep walking that path to get to where you need to go. All right, so I have Smack on here. No, Karen, you're not meant to be alone.
Thank
Uh,
you. Okay.
so share with people your story. I was trying to tell them a little bit about right before we met when you had the wrote the letter.
Oh yeah. So how's everyone doing this evening? Sorry, I'm not on camera. I was resting, but I wrote a letter. I had gotten out of a breakup. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. I had gotten out of a breakup, and um, it was one I was in for a long time, and I was just like, why I keep going through this. And so I wrote a letter, and it was I basically asked God, the God that I pray to, the creator. I said, please send me, basically it was saying, hey, how are you doing? It was like a letter you write to a friend, and then I was thanking him first for life. And then I went into asking if they could please send me someone to love me for me. I said I gave description, you know what I'm saying, of the type of woman I wanted to come into my life and love me for me. Right on down to color, weight, size, age. And that letter was something that I would read often out in the atmosphere, in my bedroom. And some people may call it weird, but they say when you want something, you have to pray for it. You have to believe in it. And I also, when I prayed, I read the letter as well. And that's why, you know, is it okay to tell everything?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I don't want to, I didn't know if I could say everything. So, next thing I know, I'm sitting at a Lore nightclub, and in walks Pierce, and my stomach just like, wow, who is that? You're just like, I don't know, like explosions, or whatever, like fireworks. And I'm like, wow. And in my mind, I'm like, who is that? And, she had on scrubs. I remember her hair being kind of curly. She had big tatas. That was
You ain't
another
supposed to
thing
say
that I
all of
was.
that.
Oh well, all right, well, that stuff, it was specific to what was in the letter. You know what I mean? So anyway, after you came to tour the place, I asked my friends who owned the nightclub, who is that? I believe that's my future wife. And they just looked at me like I was crazy. And so from there, start doing my little, I guess you call it spying, but just, trying to get to know you better, find out who you are, found out you was in a relationship, so I had to back off. But I truly kept, we believing in this letter, and I was like, somebody heard my prayers. You know what I mean? That he heard my prayers and he sent her my way, someone to love me for me. And so the more and more that we continued to talk on the phone, and then we went to a wedding together. I'm sitting in the back seat of your truck, and my stomach, I was getting that feeling again, like telling me, like, yo, you better say something. You better act like you know. And my stomach, it just kept, like this fireworky thing go. I can't explain it. It's just something I know when it still happens to this day. I feel like it's a message from the creator for me to open up my mouth and say something. And so, I started saying little things as she was driving to the wedding. Then when we got there, I just went and, did something that she didn't expect for me to do. And then we had such a great time that night. And then by the end of the night, I text and I just said, "Hey, I know somebody that like you." You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that crazy deal.
Yeah, but in the end, basically what I want to say is, you know, um, everyone's spiritual way is their way. Me, I pray to the creator. That's the person who created me. And I have always done that. And I also, ask them for things that I need in my life. And that letter that I wrote was one that read it over and over and over again. And I prayed it out over and over and over again. And here we are today, going into 5 years being together. And I've never been so happy.
All right. You gonna come downstairs and sit with me because I need you.
Okay, let me yes ma'am, I'll be there.
Or you could stay on the phone. That's fine. I
Okay.
need your extra energy. Um. So yeah, see, that's calling someone into existence, Karen, and also seeing it. Karen said, I absolutely adored listening to that whole story. Karen, I re-pulled the cards for you again, and it's the same thing that popped up. I don't know. This road that you're supposed to be on, Karen, it is your destiny, and you're going to be successful. It's like an idea that's it's fertile, it's going to grow. I don't know. Again, like I said, when I first initially came on here, I was told to pull some cards for somebody, and it stated that they have this strong destiny. And when you go through the journey, you're going to run into the person you're supposed to be with. But whatever your destiny is, it's a great one. And it's going to be you're going to be very successful at it. So I don't know what that is. And as you do it, you're going to run into the person you're supposed to be with. But if you don't follow your destiny, you're not
Huh.
going to get all the things that you want. It's going to continue to stay upside down. And I put them cards twice and shuffled and came up with the same card. So you
Wow,
got a
that's deep.
bright, bright future. Yes, those was meant for Karen. You know how I am, Smack. When I'm told to do something, I do it beforehand. But there was a message.
Right. I understand. I've been in that spot before.
Karen said, I love giving back, and I think by me doing what I'm doing, I will meet my person. I needed that. Yeah, you got to stick to your journey. Sometimes when we don't walk our walk, we miss out on all the blessings that we supposed to get.
Mm,
And what
mm,
I
mm.
saw with those cards is It's your destiny to do something. You was brought here to do this thing, and I don't know what it is. Only you know what it is. And you got the universe behind you. The creator is behind you. And it's going to be fertile. It's going to be successful. And everything that you do involving it is going to bring you joy. And it's going to bring you the person is going to align you with the person that's supposed to be there with you while you do it. Um, I
I
can
wanted to say,
say,
go ahead.
go ahead. Go
I
ahead and say
wanted
what
to
you.
say that, I have a few friends who struggle with not knowing what it is that they're supposed to be doing. And we're all put here for a reason. And I'm not trying to get into my minister mode, but we're all put here for a reason. It's up to us. Whatever it is that you believe, whatever that spiritual thing is, you have to come in contact with it and you have to believe in it. And a lot of people are like, how do you know when the spirit or the creator is talking to you, Smack? I'll be like, because I have a relationship that is like no other. I know there are certain things, you're not going to physically see somebody. I mean, for me, I don't physically see someone standing in front of me. There are times when I have a feeling of warmness. There's times when I feel coldness. There are times when my stomach is how they talk to me to let me know, no, don't do that or go and do that. But sometimes we miss out on our blessings because we don't listen to the creator and what they're trying to tell us. And that's because we don't have the relationship. So I've just said all that to say is make sure you have that relationship and you believe in the spiritual being that you are praying to or whatever, so that you can do what you have to do to step into your purpose in life.
I agree. And I will add on to what Smack just said. You cannot take that journey to reaching a creator if you have hate in your heart. If you
Mm,
have any kind of hate or discrimination, you're not
yeah.
going to reach the creator. In order for you to link in, you have to have pure thought. You can't have hate. You can't dislike. Um, for instance, you can't have hate and discrimination towards a person because of color, orientation, or whatever thing that divides us. You have to learn to let that go. That is something that the creator does not want. Um, so just a FYI for those people that believe that they're so spiritual or so religious, but you're discriminating against a person for things that don't even make sense in the grand scheme of things because of religion, because of race, because of their sexuality, because of their identity, because I've heard silly stuff. I don't like people that put sugar in their grits. I hate them. Just you got to let all of that go. And yeah, but yeah, Karen, this is I don't know. You just keep the cards just keep pulling these triumphant and transformation cards.
Mm,
Karen got something. I don't know what you cooking over there or what is happening over there, but you got
believe in it.
the ancestors is with you with and these are all the cards that just keep popping up.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know who Karen is, but
Yes, you do know who
people.
Karen is.
Oh,
Karen from the Women's Fest.
oh, okay. Hey, sis. I'm not. I can't see the comments. I'm sorry. I'm in lounge mode. I do apologize, but this is my thing. Wow, if the cards keep laying the way that they do, ooh, it's not
They keep
often.
laying.
it's not often that I see that, you know.
I don't know what she got going on, but every time the cards drop, they're about being successful.
Mm, yes, I love the successful stuff.
Triumph, success, it's her destiny to do whatever it is she's planning on doing. I'm not sure what that is. Not sure what that plan is, but it's going to be great. It must be something great for humanity to get all of those positive cards.
Look at
Yeah, it's something. But that was the message. I mean, I was told to pull a spread and for somebody, and like they're gonna come on, and you supposed to tell them. But so I told it.
I hear a little sizzle. Is that you?
I'm not sure.
There you go. I
Maybe.
don't hear it now since you touched your mic. It's the
Oh,
mic.
okay.
Yeah, I was like, what is that noise?
Oh, Karen said I felt you drawing me to you today. Then it was for you, cause something said
Maybe.
pull them cards. Um, babe, you want to share any stories about me doing any premonitions that you seen me pull out the hat? Because you see me
Ah,
do a lot. Oh, you have, yeah, you have seen me do some premonitions. Remember about the teeth thing? Remember?
oh yeah. So, um, I'll never forget it. We both had to get up early that day. You were going to work, and I was going to work. And you said, "Babe, you need to call and check on your sister." I'm like, "What do you mean?" You was like, "Something going on with her teeth." And I was like, "What you mean?" She said, "Please call and check on your sister. Something's going on with her teeth." And you said you had a. What did you say? Can you
I
help me
had
out
a
a little bit?
I had a dream that I
Yeah.
was walking. I was going to go see her to get a workout, and when I walked up to her, she was holding her teeth like she was just crying from her mouth.
Yes. That is what it was. And I immediately called my sister at 6 something in the morning. And I said, "Sis, are you okay?" And she was mumbling. Wasn't she? I said, "Sis, are you okay?" You was like, "Yeah." I said, "Look, my girl just had a dream." And I said, she's empath and everything. And she knew what that meant. And I said, she had a dream about you, something with your teeth. Is everything okay? And that you were crying. And my sister had just had mouth surgery. What was it? That was it?
From the Invisalign or something.
Yeah, she had got Invisalign braces in, and she was she had gotten them tightened or something, right? And it was really tight, and she was crying. So I was like,
Yeah.
ah, I was like, wow. So and then you told me a couple about my grandma. Your grandmom is here.
Oh no, you know what everyone would enjoy? The witch one. Remember? And you got mad at me.
Oh, so when I was doing
Don't say the person name. Don't
I
say
won't,
their
I won't.
name.
I remember during time of the year when there was a lot of protests and things going on. And I was out there during the protests trying to make sure my people weren't being mistreated so that they could peacefully protest. And this one we got invited to go lower Delaware. And anyway, it was a group of us. And my girl said she's a witch. I was like, what?
No, we was in the car and she called you on the phone.
I
Remember,
can't
she called
remember.
you.
My memory is the worst, guys. Oh yeah, she did call on the phone.
She called on the phone,
Yeah. I
and
remember I was telling you about how the stuff they put on their face before we went to go.
you didn't tell me that until after. I'll tell it because you butchering it.
I'm sorry. See y'all.
Um, we were driving. We were going to get some shrimp or something because we always like was eating. We was on a bad seafood kick that summer, and we were going to get some shrimp, and we were in a drive-through, and this person called her on the phone, and she was talking about the what was it? Y'all was going to Mart to do something or whatever.
Yeah.
So as she was talking, now bear with me guys because this is going to sound really strange, but it felt like I could hear like a tingle or a magic or something coming from her words. And I just said to Smack, I said, she's a witch. And Smack got mad at me and was like, remember, you was like, why would you say something like that? You don't
Yeah.
say that about people and all this stuff. I'm like, I'm telling you, she's a witch. I'm telling you, she does that. And so then what happened? She ended up telling you? Because you
Yeah.
came back telling me, like, oh my God. Oh my God. She
Yeah.
said that she was a.
Yeah. Because that was during the time when that movie oh man, what's that movie came on TV and talked to the ancestors and stuff.
I don't
Um
know.
the black movie. But the black what's his name?
Oh, you talking about Lovecraft Country.
Yes, it was during that time. And you know, we was talking about that, I wanna say, and she told me she was a witch. I was like, what? And I'm just listening, and she was telling about some things like the stuff she do, like when she put that stuff on her face, it's to protect her. And what that red stuff is a I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember it all because I didn't want to know about it. But she goes to the same places that somebody else I know had taken me to get, like, rocks and things like that. And I was just like, wow. But I said, yeah, that room there, whenever time I walk in it, it has an eerie feeling. I don't go in there. It messes with my spiritual. I don't go in there. It's just something that ain't right. I get hot, I get cold, I feel a draft. I don't go into that room. And I remember I came back and told you, yo, you was right.
Yeah. You was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I didn't believe it. Like, that's not something I really believed that was real. You know what I'm saying?
Karen said a Wiccan. No, she said she was a witch, Karen.
No, a witch.
Wiccan, witch, about the same.
Yeah, and I was just like, that is not something that, yeah, I mean, it just took me by surprise. And then when I went to find an Avalon to actually,
Hello,
well, I didn't mean to
Raphael.
say their name because they don't pay us to mention it.
That's
But
fine. They
when I
help.
went there and to see that there are truly witches out here who, you know, I was like, wow, because you see them all in that room. I was like, wow. And it's young ones and old ones. And, you know, I'm just like, wow. I don't have conversations with them because I don't want it to, I don't want it to mix with what I'm working on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I know that as a kid, I thought that was fairy tale, but that does exist. And when I started becoming more in tune with my spiritual and the creator, I'm like, wow, as a little kid, when I was on that swing and I could always swing up and see that witch's house back there, the teacher always told us, don't you guys ever go back there. That's where the witches live. It was that old wooden house. And I was like, wow, that's the witch's house. Maybe there was some fact in that.
uh, Probably. But yeah, witches. There are people that practice
Yeah,
witchcraft. It's not. It's it's not about magic. It's about the magic isn't bad. It's about the person that's using it.
right.
Okay, so somebody is questioning something
What they say,
and they're not too sure. Use your intuition. Your intuition is telling you. Follow your intuition.
what they ask.
I don't know. Somebody is questioning. I got people looking at me and it says somebody is questioning and it's like they know the answer,
But they
but they're
having
going
second
back and
doubt.
forth with themselves. Use your intuition.
Use your intuition and always remember that failure is never final, success is never ending.
Karen said, so let me put it out there. A little bit ago, we were talking about loving everybody, accepting everybody. So, how do we go about accepting people that we don't understand? People that you don't understand, that's the solution right there. Maybe that's what that is. The solution is trying to gain an understanding. You you cannot hate or dislike. You can dislike or not want to be around a person. That's fine. But to utterly hate stops you from getting to where you need to go.
Yes.
Um, our goal here is to understand stuff. It's not about you can still not prefer it, but you can understand it.
Right.
And the witches thing, Karen said the example of the witches. It's Wiccans and witches and stuff
All around
that's
you.
all around you. They are, some of them are born, some can be made through. So, and you'll know if you're a born one because, again, essentially, a witch is just a term for a person that can do some of the things that some of us already admitted to being able to do, like the premonitions, being empathic. All of that stuff was considered witchcraft. So, but yeah, whoever's watching, follow your intuition. You got the answer. You sitting up there going back and forth with yourself. Karen said, I wasn't born one, but be honest, I'm kind of scared of them. And is it because I don't know or understand? I haven't been educated. It's like people being scared of lesbians because they don't understand I'm not a scary person. Um, Smack, are you scared of witches? Are you there, Smack? I don't know where she went.
Yeah, I'm
Okay. Are you scared of witches?
no.
I don't think, for me, I don't think you should be afraid of them. I don't.
I'm not scared of them because
Yeah,
I
don't.
know who protects me. I'm not scared of them because most of the time they don't really make themselves known. You feel what I'm saying? How can I explain it? I'm not scared of them because what I believe in is too strong for them to interfere with. Let me put it like that.
Raphael, if you want to click the link and come on with us, you can. I'm not afraid of witches, and I can understand Karen's fear because she's not educated on them. I grew up listening and learning about that kind of stuff, hearing about voodoo and all that stuff, so I'm not afraid of it, Karen. Um, but the best way to overcome any fear is just learning. That's all. Learning, educating yourself about the practices or whatever. But no, I'm not afraid of witches. I'm not. I have never been afraid of a witch.
And there are people who are witches who don't even know they're witches because they haven't even tuned in to that part of their self yet. But like Pierce said, the most important thing is education because I I used to have like a lot of different things happen and didn't know why, and I started looking them up and educating myself, on different things that would happen and what they meant. You know what I'm saying? I truly believe like everything happens for a reason, and I'm that type of person that wants to know what is that reason. But I want to tell you that, as far as the witch thing is concerned, as long as you educate yourself, and like I said, the place in Camden is a great place to go. There are some who will talk to you. The most important thing is, I mean, me, I don't let none of them touch me. I don't let them get no hair, none of that kind of stuff. And I just, you can talk to them or look at some YouTube videos to understand their world. That's it.
Yeah, a witch is a witch. They only harmful if that's what their intention is. If there are some evil witches out there, I trust and believe. I believe they're doing some probably some diabolical stuff that don't consist of. You know what? I'm going to get you as an individual. They probably doing some worldly stuff, but I'm not afraid of witches. I'm not afraid of them at all. And I think with you being an empath, you'll be able to tell who's the witch. You'll be able to tell when they walk up on you. They feel a little different. You could tell how they talk. It'll sound almost magical. I don't know. All right. So does anybody? I mean, this was our premonition episode, but we done got into so many different things, and that's fine. I just felt like I was supposed to come on here today. I knew it was a person that I was supposed to come on here to help. I was initially going to not do this episode, but something said, no, you got to go on it because someone needs you. Someone is waiting for you. I'm like, okay, who's waiting for me? Who is waiting for me today? I don't know. Any other things, hun, that you seen me do? Any premonitions or anything that you thought was a little off key? Smack, are you there?
I,
I said, is there anything else that you noticed that was a little off key about me or any other premonitions or anything?
have people who were around me were not.
You are breaking up, hun.
I say you helped me see some of the people that were around me were not for the good. meaning they weren't true friends.
Uh, would you consider me a witch?
No.
Okay. Karen said, maybe I am cool with that. I just know what my beliefs are and who my God is. Karen said, that was me. Oh, it was you that needed me to come on here, Karen. I knew it was somebody. I don't know. This world, I like spiritual Sundays. I think this world has layers to it. I think some of us live on this plane, and then some of us has the capability of going into different planes of existence, um and that's what spiritual Sundays is about. It's about talking to people, and we build and discuss how we function in that higher realm, with these other extended senses. That's what I think they are. They are extended senses. Um, to the average person that does not do the things that I do, like a empathic person or person that has premonitions, they don't understand. They think that you're strange. They think, maybe if they're a religious zealot, they think that you got the devil in you, and that's not necessarily the case. As we said last week, if you are religious and you're listening, we want you to understand that the prophets and things that were in these Bibles, in these scriptures, if you believe they existed in those earlier times, then understand that they exist today. And we still are out here functioning and helping people
Uh-huh.
and things of that nature. Um, my grandmother used to always say, there's nothing new under the sun. So, whatever you find back then, you'll find today. So don't get discouraged or discourage anyone that have these gifts. Support them, um, and get them to a space or a place where they can be around like-minded individuals if you yourself don't understand. Don't shun them. It's not witchcraft. So I think that we covered premonitions. Should I share one last story before I go out of here?
Yeah.
Uh, which premonition should I share? Trying to think of a good one. I've had so many. I wonder if that would be considered a premonition. Um, Karen is saying yes. Which one should I share? I'm trying to think of one. I've
Yeah,
done so many.
about your aunt.
About her being my grandmother?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But maybe you
Alright.
don't want to share that one. Share the one about your you walking over the bridge.
That's not a premonition.
Wow.
I'll share the one about my aunt. I don't have an issue with that.
Okay.
Alright, so
That there's a fuzzle sizzling coming through and it's from the mic.
okay, can you hear it now?
When you touch it, we don't hear the mic. Touch the mic.
Do you hear it now?
Yeah.
Alright, let me move back. Can you hear it now?
Yeah. It's all right. Go ahead. We can still hear you over top of it.
Alright, so let me share this one. I'll share it with you. So I want you guys to bear with me. Um is the sizzle going on?
No, baby.
Wait a minute. Let me see.
That
Better?
no.
Is worse? I moved it back. Is it worse?
No. Yeah. I mean, you can go ahead. We can still hear you though.
Okay. You gonna
I
make
don't.
me plug up the other microphone.
I don't know what you just did there, but it's gone.
Okay. So I'll share it. When I was, I say about 4 or 5, and I shared this on another show. Hi, Brothers Gloria. So, tonight we talk about premonitions, Brothers Gloria. You on Spiritual Sunday, so I'm about to share it. When I was about 4 or 5, I got up in the middle of the night because I got cold. And normally, just to explain for people that don't understand the spiritual realm, if you get cold, that's possibly a sign that some type of spirit or something is around or whatever. So I decided in my little head at 4 or 5 years old, had to be, I say 5 or 6, that I was going to go in the hallway and put kerosene in the heater because I seen my grandmother do. I was raised by my grandmother, so I started to go out to put kerosene in the heater, and I went to get toward the bucket, and then this lady popped out, and my grandmother was in the bathroom. This lady popped out, and she was like, "Don't do that." And I'm looking at her, and I'm like, "You can't tell me what to do." And she was like, "Yeah, at 4, Karen, at the time when I grew up in Newark, you know, if it got cold, we used to use a kerosene heater." That was back in the early 80s or whatever. I had to be like 5 or 6. I was very aware, always have been aware. So the lady told me don't touch that, and I'm like, who are you? And I see you, Smack. And I was like, I started arguing with her, and she was just going back and forth. Don't touch that. You could hurt yourself or whatever. And I just started yelling, you're not my grandmother. You're not," just yelling. So at this time, my grandmother was in the bathroom, which was in that same hallway. So she hear me screaming back and forth or whatever. So she comes out and she looks and she doesn't see anybody, and she's saying, "Who are you talking to?" And I'm saying I'm talking to her. And my grandmother said, "Well, her who?" And I asked her, "What is your name?" And the lady said, "Lizzie." But because I was so young, I couldn't get Lizzie out like that. Like, I don't know if it was disease or whatever. So when I was trying to tell my grandmother who the person was, it came out as Lucy. So my grandmother thought I was saying Lucy or whatever, but I was saying Lizzie. And Lizzie disappeared out the hallway. My grandmother said, "Okay, go in the bed or whatever." And she became like a staple in our house. She became the ongoing thing because throughout my childhood, whenever something would go on, she would pop up. Like if I was about to get in trouble, Lizzie would pop up and tell me to stop, or she will always, like I said, that she will always be in my business or whatever. So eventually, as I got older, she disappeared. And let's go forward to me being like 15, 16 years old. And I was outside. I was real tired. I came in and I laid down. So when I went to sleep, I was in the attic. And I'm sitting in the attic, and then the voice is talking to me. And I look in the corner, and it's Lizzie. And I'm looking at her like, "Oh my God, not her again. Like, where is she coming from? I don't need an imaginary friend. I'm too old for you. Like, why are you here, Lizzie? Why? Why are you here?" So she was like, I have to tell you something or whatever. And I'm like, fine. So she was like, let's unpack the boxes. And she said, pull that thing out the box. So I'm looking at the boxes or whatever, and I'm looking at Lizzie, and I'm like not really wanting to touch the box or whatever. So she comes from the shadows, and she looks like my grandfather's sister. And she started pulling out the box or whatever, and I'm looking at this plaque, and it has all these kids' names on it. My grandfather's sister's kids, and on it is two different what's the names, and it's my mother and my cousin's name on there. And I'm like, why is my mother name on there and my cousin's name? And she's like, because those is Eliza's children. When you wake up, ask her or whatever. So I go to sleep and a deep sleep, but then I wake up in the morning, and then I go and I call my grandfather's sister, and I said, are you my grandmother? And she said, yes, I am your grandmother, but that ain't something you supposed to know. And she said, in fact, how do you know? And I said, well, Lizzie told me. And she said, Lizzie. I said, my imaginary friend that y'all been picking on me, Lucy, her name is Lizzie. Lizzie told me. And my grandmother said, my biological grandmother said, Lizzie, what does Lizzie look like? And I described it, and she said that Lizzie is her grandmother that she was named after. And her name is Eliza, but everybody called her Lizzie. And my grandmother that gave my mother up, her name was Eliza, but they didn't call her Lizzie. They just called her something else. So I don't know if that's exactly a premonition. I don't know what that is, but um, definitely, something that'll let you know that that other world, that realm exists. Um, all that time, I had that annoying imaginary friend. It was my great grandmother that was, well, my great great grandmother that was my annoying ass imaginary friend that was always looking out for my well being. Um, but that's the story Smack likes. I don't know why. Why do you like that story so much, Smack?
Uh, I grew up with an younger. I had my imaginary friend. Yeah, that microphone is getting louder. But I had my imaginary friend, and I just like that story because it's people. It just explains a lot. Me growing up, a lot of people don't believe in it and don't understand that you can learn a lot from your dreams and from just being in tune with your spiritual side.
Yeah. Well, that's my story. That's I'm not sure if that's a premonition, but I'm glad that I could share with you guys this Sunday on Spiritual Sundays. It's a lot about me that I don't really reveal to people. But as time go on and we continue to do this every Sunday at 5 p.m., hopefully you guys can share your stories with me, and we could get to a bonded space and realize that we aren't strange. Look at you. she, she cut her camera off. But I hope you guys enjoy Spiritual Sundays. I think maybe it's time for me to go come off. Uh, Brothers Glory said, I had an experience with a spaceship when I was very little, never made sense of it today. Wow. Now that's a whole nother conversation about people from other places. And maybe we'll discuss that next week. To the people that are watching, do you believe that there are other entities out there? And if so, should we discuss next Sunday about there being other entities? Um, Karen, do you believe that there are other entities outside of human beings in the universe? It seems like Brothers Gloria do. And maybe we could discuss that next week at 5 p.m. I hope that my stories have helped someone. Again, I got plenty of them that I can share. Um, I come from a very spiritual family. I got
Mm,
stories on end.
a lot, guys.
Oh, God. So, with that being said, I'm going to go and try to understand. Oh, you like listen to my stories, Cameron? Oh, yeah, you said sorry you came in late. Well, listen, Brothers Gloria, I'll be back next Sunday at 5 p.m. to share and talk about spiritual things. This show normally goes on for 3 hours, but today I think I'm going to try to enjoy my time with Smack because she's normally not off on a Sunday. um, but I'm glad you stopped in. Next week we'll talk about other life forms. I do have stories about that. If you have one, please tune in next week. Tell a friend, and we can all sit down and discuss it. I'll be back Tuesday at 8 p.m. for the Peach Radio Show, which is LGBT all Tuesday, every Tuesday. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
my topic is going to be about um black families and LGBTQ and what is our problem. What the fuck is our problem? I think that's what I'm going to discuss. Please follow me. If you follow me on YouTube and you like what I'm saying here, I place a lot of my spiritual stuff on my YouTube page. It's Peach ENT on YouTube. I have clips. I sometimes share the clips on my regular pages, but then if it's too much information, I don't. I have something called the Daily Tea, where I post information that I found on the internet that I think that LGBT people could benefit from. I'm a fierce advocate for us, and I think through information we can learn so much. We can grow. We have a rich history, rich culture. We are ancient, and its significance, spiritual significance in being LGBTQ. But that's all on my Peach ENT page on YouTube. You could check out the clips on the Daily Tea. But y'all have a good night. I'm gonna mess with Smack now. They can hear that. Y'all have a good night. I love y'all. See y'all next Sunday, 5 p.m. for Spiritual Sundays. Hopefully Tabocious will be back. And then I'll see you Tuesday for the Peach Radio Show. Y'all have a good night. Bye.